Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of FTN Transformers on YouTube. I'm your host for Mondays, Michael, and my voice sounds kind of funny because I was at a conference over the weekend and was screaming my ass off, and it was awesome. And if you're wondering what this is, I fell off my bike on my face and it hurt, but I'm okay. And anyway, this week's topic is lots of people complain or use this as complaints a lot because it's very prominent in everyday life. It is cis privilege. And now, if you don't know what that is, well, first off, if you don't know what cis is, it is a cisgender person, aka meaning anyone who doesn't identify as transgender. So they were born as a certain sex, male or female. They identify as that one that is congruent with their sex, and they express themselves accordingly as to the per heteronormative agenda and society or whatever. And so throughout the day, it is currently 22 to 29. If I didn't already say that, did I say that? I forget. But aka 10 o'clock, and so 10:30, and so over the day I wrote down some things that I thought were kind of cis privilege-ish. So number one is the most basic one, obviously. I'm gonna stick for like F to N's for this, because that's what the thing's about. So number one would be obviously using public restrooms. People who have cis privilege don't have to, fear abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, harassment, being intimidated, or getting arrested for using the wrong bathroom because they look different or because someone knows something about them and call them out on it. You don't have to worry about that. Also, other things would be public facilities like gym locker rooms and changing rooms in stores and stuff. And people who have cis privilege, people who have cis privilege, don't have to worry about getting stared at in places. I hate stares. It's always from far away, and people are that. I thought the camera was over there, but just looks. It's just the shade, just oh, who is that, and so that's one of the bigger things. Bathrooms, places in which you change is a private area. You get stares at. You get I was in the what's it called, airport, and it was when I had my kind of longest hair. It was down to here-ish, and I was straightening it because it was a little curly. And I could hear, because it's very echoey, so I could hear people right outside the bathroom, is that a girl in there? Go yell at him. Go yell at that kid. Go get security. Go do all these things. And I'm come talk to me. Do something. Don't get security on me and get me arrested or something. Make me miss my flight or something. More things that are cis privilege. Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about strangers asking you about your genitals, either how you have sex or what they look like, or if you've had the surgery, all those things. And usually people who have cis privilege are the ones who end up asking those kinds of questions. All the ones that we did in a previous video series called What Not to Ask a Trans Man, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, just all those are you stupid? Would you ask a regular cisgendered person that? No, you wouldn't. So cisgendered people don't have to worry about getting asked all those stupid questions. Also, another thing about cis privilege is that how much of a man or woman you are is not dependent on one, what you look like, and two, what surgeries you've had. A lot of times people who have cis privilege will mock a trans person because they're not trans enough, which also happens in their community, as you know, which is another series, and that we did before. And, you know, they're just like, oh, you didn't have the surgery, so you're not really a man, or you're not really a woman, or, you know, really. Like, you know, if a man was born male, he has a penis, and then he gets in an accident and it gets taken off or something, oh god, that must hurt. Like, that doesn't make him less of a man, so why should people think that if you get something surgically put on or removed or whatever, or, you know, that doesn't make you any more or less a man or woman, or however you see yourself. So cisgender, cis-privileged people don't have to worry about that. So yeah, overall cis-privilege is just, I don't like it. Especially when people, like, what's it called? Not execute, maybe it is. Like, you know, play on that privilege by asking all those kinds of questions and stuff. Things like, you know, what's your real name? Like, that's a privilege, because I'm pretty sure no one's ever asked them what their real name was, and not in the same context that they're asking. Like, maybe if they have, like, a nickname, like, if they're like, hey, I'm Xander, they're like, oh, is that your real name? Like, or does it stand for Alexander, you know? But they're never questioning in a way of, like, that's not your, like, gender-specific name. Like, they don't get it asked to them in that sort of a way. And it just makes me upset. I always have to, like, make sure my friends know that they're, like, saying something or doing something in a way that is, like, kind of bragging about their privilege, because it's something that trans people have to deal with every single day. You know, we have to, every privilege that they have is another one that they don't have to think about on a daily basis, every, like, 5 minutes, especially in public, especially around people you don't even know. Like, we're so concerned what other people are going to perceive us as, or going to think we are, or misgender us, or call us something different, or, you know, it's just ridiculous. I hate it. It's ridiculous, and this society is so prominent and so, like, it's so heteronormative that it enforces all these stereotypes and allows for cis privilege, and it's horrible. But I think I'm rambling now, and it's been like 7 minutes. Oh god. So that's all I have for this week, and I bet lots of other people have to rant about this topic too for this week. So like, subscribe, comment, share, all that jazz. Like our Facebook page. Tell your friends. Put more suggestions for further topics you want to know about, and I shall see you next week. Stay beautiful.